game, just 54 apiece.
Murphy's got it. Just figure that Nick Stevens, if he can't get a game in this team. Nick. Here's Bentley. Goes along the boundary. Juggled mark is taken by Betts. 60 metres out. And what we've seen this season, Carlton aren't up to it. There goes the kick down towards full forward. That's what we've seen. Shaw, Didak. Advantage is paid. Thomas comes away. Medhurst is at left half back. Hasn't moved. Didak. Johnson. Anthony. Just going through the motions of the MCG. Anthony's away, drives it to the outer side. O'Brien is on for the next one. Shaw's got it. O'Brien wants it. Now he gets it. On the move, Pendlebury. That'll be ignored. He goes towards the middle. Side bottom will need to go here. Reaching over the top. Thornton almost. Doors in front. Well done by Thornton. Gave the contest immediately onto the man on the ground.
So Cruiser and Dawes. Dawes maybe a fingertip. Gibbs is a little give. Carazzo. Daisy Thomas put the pressure on. Thornton, well, could have got a free kick there. Side bottom. O'Brien. Just too hard for Swan. And then Simpson hacking it forward. Yaron and Johnson. Johnson clever to bar him. He sort of gave it in the end.
Yep. Handed it on. It was more than a tap. Sean, yours. Sean.
So Hampson gives to Gibbs, and Gibbs gives to Fisher.
Wait, tuck.
They just haven't been able to get a winning forward, Carlton, tonight. They've brought the ball in so poorly and slowly. And now Grigg loading up with a high ball to full forward. And, well, it's probably typical of what we've seen tonight, isn't it?
The only time Favola's actually had time and space in front of him, the kicks haven't gone there. And then when the kicks look like they're going to hit him, they've got Nick Maxwell or Harry O'Brien or Heath Shaw coming over the top, and Presti's pretty hard to get away from at the best of times.
Didak is away around the outer side. Kicks towards half forward. Thomas. Davis. Hard against the boundary line. Goes down towards the pocket. Cloak. Bounced in front of him. The idea was right. He tried to trap it there for Lockyer. Came unstuck. Austin to the opposite side of the ground. Carazzo drives towards the wing. Hampson. Well, he misjudged that ball completely. He was 5 metres in front. Got it away though to Russell. Russell down towards the 50. Clever by Shaw. Stopped it. Clever by Betts, or rather Yaron, to get back into the contest. Pulls it back towards the middle. All Collingwood, but it runs on. Gibbs has got it. Gibbs spots a man. I think it was intended for Russell, but it was wide of the mark, and Pendlebury goes to O'Brien.
And a paddock in front of him. He's got Swan very short. So Swan up to 36 disposals. He's been averaging 35 this season.
It's got to come back around. Thanks, mate. That's it.
So Davis. Good kick to O'Brien. He's a reliable player, G. Davis. Well, he's been a match winner in so many ways tonight in a low-scoring game.
Well, he's had 7 shots on goal, and no other player, this is Leon Davis, no other player has had more than 2. So in a game that has been quite scrappy, that few players have really been able to be effective within, he's kicked 3-4, but 7 shots on goal in this sort of a game has been a great effort.
So O'Brien's only missed 3 games in the last 4.5 seasons. O'Brien's been Mr. Reliable. That kick falling short. And Hampson, who's covered a lot of ground tonight, he's a work in progress, isn't he? To Bauer, to Gibbs, who's racking up some big numbers. This is number 30 for him, but that one again, for the second time in a row, finds a Collingwood player. Cloak, such an important player when the heat was in the game.
Clever kick. Going back is Beams, and that's a clever mark. Should have got the free kick, I would have thought. But
Look at Alan Didak trying to sniff a handball off the ground there. He's 30 metres out.
Sometimes in the old days when you used to use one footy, you know, sometimes it would be a bad footy and no one could handle it or kick it too well. But if we've seen we use a dozen footies now, I don't think we can use that excuse for what has been a pretty scrappy exhibition of kicking pretty much by both sides, I would have thought.
Gee, you were sounding like Malcolm Blighty for a moment. They were funny footies, weren't you?
Footies are different.
Can tell in the flight.
Here's Beams.
Right there.
From 35 metres out, directly in front, sticks it.
There's a lot to like about Beams, isn't there?
Yeah. They really do get a lot out of those, what you'd call the players that we don't know a whole lot about. Who's there tonight? Who we got? I'm talking about Beams. Yeah, Beams. Dawes hasn't done a whole lot. Tuvi's been pretty good. Side bottom's been okay, but it's like there seems to be like a rotation of about half a dozen players, and they play 2 or 3 of them each week.
So a lot to ponder now for Rats and his men. Again, a really disappointing performance before a big crowd, over 80,000, just like against the Bombers. Not sure about Judd's injury and how serious that is, but nothing much has happened for Carlton tonight that they'll be pleased about. Losing a bit of percentage, losing ground, certainly probably lost their chance to be top 4. And with a battle, well done, Didak. The battle to stay in the 8. Barham got it from Anthony, back to Didak. Lovely kick inside.
Sean, 49. Sean, play on.
Woods had a good night. And Thomas almost. And then punching forward. Davis is just, well, I was going to say, it's just in the right spot for him. Lee Wood, you've seen a lot of his.
I just wonder how many games consecutively he's led the ruck. Even at Collingwood, is he had 3 or 4 weeks in a row?
Be very few.
2.
No.
Just the 2, I think.
Yep.
O'Brien shoots back at goal. Cloak is in front. Bauer over the top. That's 15 metres, but no one could mark it. Taken by Beams again. Up and under. Going back Scotland. Swan. Collingwood's night.
It's amazing, I guess. Swan just runs hard all the time, but Didak, since he was relieved of the Carazzo matchup in the second half, it's amazing how hard players will run when they know they've got a chance to run into space. And that's the problem. If someone is sticking with your body, it's easy just not to run in the first place. But Swan, he just keeps churning them out. And just 30-odd touches of the footy is standard for him.
And on a night like this, work rate is king, because the harder you're prepared to work, there's going to be a lot of loose ball around. You're going to need to work hard. It's not easy to read the ball because the disposal hasn't been clean, but Swan's had 37 of it, 12 of them contested, the most on the ground, and he's been the hardest worker on the field.
Grigg kicks to centre half forward. Murphy arches his back and then gets within range and kicks and hits the post, at least for the 3rd time. Lee, just going back to Wood, this season he played 3, missed 1, and then missed 3 after that, and then played a couple. So he hasn't really had a whole lot of it.
When he's the main ruckman, how many games? If they can get 3 or 4 games where they're the main ruckman, they're going to spend 80% of the time on the field, well, that's when they get a chance to prove themselves.
Collingwood win big on Friday night. Carlton managed just 1 goal in each of the 4 quarters. It was a drubbing in the end. So a lot of stars out there for Collingwood in the end. Swan doing his Brownlow chances, no harm again tonight. Frustrating for Fev, not much happened. But I reckon Tim might be chasing Leon Davis. He's on the march. But Juddy, well, that's going to be a big talking point.